Welcome back! I'm Sarit Greenberg from Wool and Fun, and we are in the Massiel Shawl New Generation C2C Cal Part 3. So in Part 3 we are going to do the Romantic C2C. It's a really nice pattern and very easy one. The first two rows is a basic square rows. So as usual, we are going to start the rows with the increase square. So if you remember, 1 2 3 finger mark, 4 5 6, and then this in the third chain from hook. It's the chain that we marked with the finger, and this in the next two remain chain. And now the basic square. The first basic square that we are going to make is above a basic square, so we are slip stitch in the chain 3 space, 3 chain, and then 3 DC in the same place. And the rest of the basic square that we are going to make is above the lace square. So actually it's the same. We are going to slip stitch in the 3 chain space. It's here. It's the same like as we made the lace square. So slip stitch, 3 chain, and 3 DC in the same. We repeat the basic square across. And in the last square we are going to make the basic square. So continue your rows, and I will meet you in the end of the row. Again, I remind you that the video tutorial is made with a small pattern. It's not like your shawl. I have less rows, so for me it's easier to go to the other side of the rows, to the end of the rows, easy and quick, but it's fine to show you how to make the row. So now we are in the end of row 27. I'm going in the last square to work the basic square. And now turn the work. And in row 28 we are going to make another basic square, starting with the increase, 3 4 5 6, this in the third chain, and in the next 2 chain. And now, as in like part 1, we are going to make the basic square above the basic square. So this row is going to be easy for you because you know how to do it. Okay, and again I'm going to meet you in the end of the row. So end of row 28, I'm turn the work. And now the next 3 rows we are going to use a new square. It's called a chain square, and it's very easy. We start with the increase square, and now we are going to repeat the chain square across till the end of the row. In the end of the row come the basic square, how we make the chain square. So we are going to slip stitch into the next three chain space, and we are going to make 6 chain. So 1, 2, 3 is for the first DC, and I replace the 3 DC with 3 chain. You see, and this is all the chain square. It's very easy. So we are going to slip stitch into the next 3 chain space and chain 6, slip stitch, chain, slip stitch and chain 6. Let me put the yarn here. It's the same structure. The chain square have the same structure as the basic square. Having the slip stitch, 3 chain and 3 more stitches. That's why it's work with the C2C method. And I can combine the stitches. So we are in the last square. So here comes the basic square. So slip stitch, 3 chain and 3 DC in the same place. Okay, I'm turn the work. And row 30, it's the same. We are going to make the chain square. The only difference is that we are going to make the slip stitch into the 6 chain space that made in the previous row. And also when we are going to crochet the basic square, we are going to make them in the 6 chain space. Now row 30, we are starting with the increase square. So now the chain square is we are going to make it in the 3 chain space that's above the basic square that we made in the previous row. So actually it's the same. Slip stitch and chain 6, and the rest of the row we are going to make the chain square, but we are going to make it in the 6 chain space So slip stitch and chain 6, and again slip stitch and a chain 6. Okay, so continue, and we are going to meet in the end of the row again. So we are in the end of row 30. We made the chain square across, and in the last we need to work the basic square. In the last square, slip stitch, 3 chain 3 and 3 DC, and turn. And now in row 31 it's the same. We are going to make the same as we work in a row, as we worked in row 30. Increase, I forgot the finger mark, if you forgot the finger mark, you can count either the 4 chain from hook or 3 chain from the start of the 6th chain. So 1 2 3, and again a chain square across, and don't forget the basic, sorry, 3 4 5 6, don't forget the basic square in the end of the row. Slip stitch and chain 6. So we are in the end of row 31. Turn the work, and now to continue the Romantic C2C, we are going to repeat the last 5 rows, 2 basic rows and 3 chain rows. I'm going to show you how to make the basic rows, the basic row after the chain row. So we are in row 32. 1 2 3 4 5 6. This is in the 3rd chain from hook, and in the next 2 chain, basic square. So the next one is the basic square that we made the previous row. So we are going to do the slip stitch into the chain 3, slip stitch, 3 chain and 3 DC in the same. And actually it's the same to work the basic square above the chain square, because we are going to do the slip stitch into the chain 6 space, slip stitch, 3 chain and 3 DC in the same space, in the same place, and again slip stitch, 3 chain and 3 DC. Slip stitch, 3 chain and 3 DC, and from here you can continue working the basic square. So remember, row 32 till 32 till 41, we are going to repeat 2 basic square and 3 chain, and then we finish the pattern, the romantic pattern, with 2 rows of a basic square. So have fun!